right, here we go, Queens, New York, US Open Center, and yeah, getting a private lesson right here. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself, but that's what lessons are all about. What a great way to get some inspiration before my lesson, by walking the grounds that the legends walked. At the Billie Jean King Tennis Center and the Arthur Ashe Stadium. I got a private tour from the communications director of the US Open. Wow. So in the off season, you have lessons.
Out 50 weeks out of the year, the National Tennis Center is a functioning tennis center.
Nice.
It's open to the public.
Wow, this is impressive though. How many matches will be going on at the same time?
I mean, there are 17 field courts that we have here. 15 or 16 will be going on at the same time during the early rounds. So there's a lot of action to watch.
All right, here's my instructor.
How'd it go?
Hey, great. Got a good tour. Thank you. What kind of racket is this here?
Head Extreme.
So who do you coach right now?
A lot of our patrons, mostly our kids.
Yeah, okay.
We have about 400 classes a week.
All right, he's getting the balls. Oh, I love tennis, I gotta tell you, I love tennis.
Who's your favorite player?
Probably Agassi, just because when I was a kid, that's who I grew up listening to, watching.
And you're gonna give me your racket a second. And you're simply going to catch the ball.
I was looking forward to hitting some really hard ones, but we were just working on techniques. I apparently needed a lot of work. Learning a new stroke was hard, especially when I've been doing the same thing for 20 plus years.
So, very much the set, overhead spin. I'm gonna get to what I want to do. You're swinging a tad fast. I mean, your arm is almost preceding the kinetic link system of your body. So slow down. Imagine you're immersed in water. So, and then again, a little more of a quiet wrist. You've got a very noisy wrist, and it's flapping around in the wind.
Looks like I'm hitting some home runs with that one-handed backhand. I told my instructor that was my biggest weakness, and I wanted to get right to it. Yeah, you're a great instructor. I'm learning a lot just in a couple minutes.
Well,
so far.
Again, instead of taking a deep dive into one aspect, I'm trying to kind of cover a little bit of everything.
All right. I am coming to you from Brooklyn. Let me show you why I'm choosing to do graffiti art. Keep in mind, I'm just in the middle of just random blocks. Look at all this. Up here, this side. The trucks, I mean, this is hysterical. To my surprise, much of this graffiti is legal. I was told by my instructor, if it looks like it could be done under 5 minutes, it was definitely illegal, or tagging.
Most of the murals in the neighborhood are organized by a project called the Bushwick Collective, which was started in 2012. So now there's some pretty famous people that do them from all over the world.
Katie's an accomplished artist herself, and today she's agreed to teach me the finer points of graffiti art. So today we're gonna learn some art, and what are we gonna make?
So the first exercise we're gonna do are straight vertical lines. If you're very close, you get a very skinny one.
Okay.
If you're farther away, maybe 1 or 2 inches or half a fist, you get a bigger line, and you can go more slowly to get this filled in.
Big difference. Do you want me to do a skinny one first? This is my first time touching a can, by the way.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, that's that.
Yeah, you can go pretty fast for the skinny ones. Nice. We could also try some horizontal ones. These are a little harder just because You're looking for a good middle speed where it's nice and filled in, but before it starts to drip, something already like Mondrian. If you rotate your wrist instead of moving the entire can, you can see it gets thick when we're pointing to the sides and blurry.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Writing your name or another word a few times. If you practice a bit, it's good. Just to
Sure.
mess around. Nice. Hey.
I did all right. No, not too good, but. Wow. Mission complete. Wow. I'm in the Bronx. And I am going to take a hip hop class, of course, the founding borough of hip hop. And right here, the Bronx house. Going to Studio 13 for hip hop class. Meet Ton Woods. He's been teaching at the center for 1 year. Since the Bronx is considered the cultural home of hip hop, it has a lot of meaning to him.
Hip hop is literally a language, like it's just another form of movement, another form of like language.
Ton teaches ages 6 to 11 and inspires the next generation.
You don't have to do you don't have to do the big movement, the flares, and no, the dance lives inside. It's just something that we just enjoy, even if we walk back, we walk forward, like.
What does it mean to you that it's right here is the home?
It means a lot.
Yeah?
It means a lot, yeah, because it's just, I'm from the Bronx, you know?
Yeah,
So
heck yeah.
And it's like, it's just like it feels good to be from somewhere that, you know, that where it was created, where it was brought to, and it just like, it just feels good to be a part of something that is so big. You know, I mean, it's international. It was local before, and now it blew up everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Hip hop started right here in the Bronx, and now it's a worldwide phenomenon. Do you think like a lot of people that we see on the streets and television dancing really well, is it a lot of practice or is it natural?
I mean, to this day, like, you know, I started when I was younger, but there's still more for me to go. There's so much more for me.
And a lot of practice.
It wasn't something they was born with. They put it, I mean, some had it already.
Yeah.
A lot of them put in the work to even elevate it, to make it look unreal. You know? So, nah, it's not a game.
But there are some people who naturally have a good groove. Huh?
Yeah, there's some people who naturally have it, but you know, but it's still like, if you want to take it somewhere else, you gotta put
it work in, yeah. Uh-oh, now it's my turn to try. I'm definitely not comfortable doing this, but we'll give it a shot.
So we'll be doing this up, slide, boom. Up, slide, boom. So you're going up, slide to your right, up, slide to your left. So up, slide to your right, up, slide to your left. Keep it going more like, yeah, see? It's how you add to everything. It's what the music makes you feel good. So that's all it is.
Manhattan, the hub for finance, fashion, real estate, and the publishing industry. With big names like the New York Times, New York Post, New York Daily News, just to name a few. I had a chance to stop by the New Yorker magazine, the pinnacle for cartoonists, to share their satire views on current events and politics. I met with a cartoonist to learn how he comes up with his ideas and how to get published.
Some of the things I always say for students, most people don't brainstorm long enough. You know, most people jump to a finished thing too fast. Like the kind of dicking around stage should always be like that's where all the magic is happening mostly. But most students, they get like one little idea and then they start drawing eyebrows and trying, you know, they get uptight about it.
I mean, usually the place it starts is in my notes app. I just have like lists of thousands and thousands of
you know, just little fragments of ideas. And it's really like a process of fishing. I think of it like fishing because you can't really force it. You have to just kind of wait. So it's something like meditative about it, or like where you're not forcing your brain to think about one particular thing, but you're like keeping your brain in like a receptive kind of state. And I'll have different tricks, like I'll just like look at objects and like, okay, look at glass and like think, just kind of play with glasses in my mind for a second. So like a list of some possible ideas that might not mean that much if you just see the fragment, but I'll remember what the idea was. Something like this, just harried.
Oh, harried, yeah, yeah.
The other great thing about it is the community. Like there is all of these cartoonists are like awesome, hilarious people, and they're so warm and friendly, and they all talk to each other and support each other. In comparison to some other like artistic communities, the cartoonist world is just like so sweet and like friendly and nice.
But it is the highest platform of cartoonists, right? The New Yorker?
I mean, of this specific type of
yes.
single panel gags, as opposed to longer comic strips or longer longer form. It's hard to compete with the New Yorker in terms of the pay and the visibility. And yeah, just in terms of the number of people that see it, and it's like a thing being a New Yorker.
It seems so like it. Like the crossword puzzle, like the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Exactly, yeah. It's like an institution. And, and you're part of a long, kind of history of these. And like this one was the one I did for the inauguration day.
Oh, yes. Right now, cartoonists, from what I hear, is mostly freelance. There's no like full-time cartoonist.
Most or nearly all, or maybe all, are basically in my same boat. Where every week you're submitting. Some have higher batting averages than me for sure, but I've been, pretty pleased.
But yeah, you have to love it because you're. It's it's a risk.
It's definitely a risk, and it's a lot of time for not much money. When you all the batches of cartoons you're doing all the time, it's many hours a week of work. But it's just so satisfying.
I am on Staten Island and I am going to be cooking an Italian dish at the Casa Belvedere. I can't say it the Italian way, but I'm excited to be here. This site is also the Italian Cultural Heritage Center, and it has weddings, events, dinners.
We have, I believe it's the highest concentration of Italian Americans in the country.
All right, why don't we get started?
We got started off with a nice toast of prosecco. Now let's let the cooking begin. We are making bow tie pasta. And I am going to learn a lot because I'm not someone familiar with the kitchen.
You can start sauteing these.
Now, is it advised to constantly stir?
We want to keep these a little crisp. So we're going to add about maybe 2 tablespoons of salt, and you can go ahead and start that. There's a little trick with the asparagus, and what we're going to do is we're just going to snap these, and where it naturally breaks is where the tender part is. So this is the tough part. This is the tender part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve, I'd say about a cup of pasta water. Now this pasta water is not like any other water. It's salted, but it also has the starch from the pasta. This looks great. That's it. And again, we were just kind of taking off the rawness of the once you bring everything together with the pesto, you can add a little more water if you see it's a little dry. Bring all of this together, and we have the zucchini and the tomatoes and the spring mix and this ice bath here. And this is going to stop the cooking process. And it's going to stay nice and green, nice and crisp. Here's the pasta.
Simple as that, huh? Yeah, you're right. That pesto turned out amazing.
Yeah. Asparagus. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's our pasta course. We'll add the zucchini as well.
Well, my first cooking show. It was a success, even though I didn't do anything.
We thank you for coming to Casa Vedere to Staten Island, and we wish you well on your project.
Thank you.